Welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. This is where you get the latest updates on business, finance, economy, market, as well as investment information. If you couldn't follow us live on television, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, press the notification bell so that you can get notifications. Thank you. Enjoy this video. Hello, this is Moneyline with Nancy. I am Nancy Naji, and welcome to the program. So let's get going. So much to talk about today. Just a few hours to Trump's president-elect. He was president before. President-elect Donald Trump inauguration, second inauguration as the 47th U.S. president. That will be coming up, I think, 6 p.m. Nigerian time or 5 p.m. Nigerian time, if I'm not mistaken, about 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Of course, stay tuned to this channel. There would be an exclusive, program later today on President Donald Trump's second inauguration. But that's what we'll be looking at too on the program, because President Donald Trump, or President-elect Donald Trump, anyone really goes, President-elect Donald Trump is an economic president. He's been saying so much on inflation, on the economy, on trade, on tariffs, on inflation, on what he will do. He's already taking credit for the return of TikTok services to the United States. He says he will sign 100+ executive orders on day one. His team are already working on it, have already even worked on it as we speak. We're seeing tech CEOs will be at the inauguration today. We've not really seen that kind of thing in history, where you see billionaires, tech billionaires attending the inauguration. Coming up on the program just shortly to discuss that and a lot more is my guest, Kalu Aja, a certified financial education analyst. He will be joining me shortly to take a look at Trump 2.0, what Trumpnomics will actually mean for the United States, for Africa. If this is second missionary journey will really mean anything for Africa, let alone Nigeria, what would be the bilateral relations with the United States? What would the relationship be under Trump with Nigeria as he comes back again as U.S. president? What are we really going to be looking at concerning our global economy? All that and many more we will be looking at. All right, welcome back to the program. My guest is with me right now virtually, Kalu Aja. Hello, Kalu, who's a certified financial education analyst. I'm good. How are you doing, Kalu? Have we spoken this year? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Nancy, Chief Nancy. Glad to be here again.
Yes, fantastic. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure,
yeah. Kalu, let's get started. President Trump, the 45th president of the United States, set to be the 47th president of the United States. This is the second time in history this would happen in the United States since 1897. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, for a president to be president two non-consecutive terms. I think it was Greville Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, in 18.
Was the last president?
Yes, was the last person when it happened. What can we really learn from this sense of history? Because President Trump, this is a stunning comeback for him, which he has, given us all in our faces, whether you like it or not. After 8 years, he was president the last time, coming in a very stunning fashion.
Yeah, and coming in with everything thrown at him, the indictments, the bankruptcy proceedings in New York, he's out of his family's business, the porn star court case, everything, his home was raided, assassin's bullet, and he comes back, wins all the swing states, increases his vote in every county in the United States, even deep blue counties, California, New Jersey, Illinois, New York, his vote went up. So resounding victory, clear victory. And that's what you see in the States today, not a lot of demonstrations. I think there's a clear message that the Americans were not satisfied with what the last administration did. So it's more like we're not satisfied with what the Democrats did, and we think Trump can do a better job. So it was a clear mandate to him to change things around in the States, more or less.
President Trump at this time seems to be more organized. Or am I the one getting that sense? Of course, from his first term, of course, they say experience is the best teacher. As soon as he was declared a president-elect, he went to work, hit the ground running, bringing up members of his team. All through last week, I was watching the Senate proceedings, grilling Senate proceedings, you know, as to who would be where or who will occupy what position. And I'm saying here in Nigeria, I hope our congressmen are watching. I hope our senators are watching and not bow and go, bow and go. And this is the same presidential system we say we are copying. When it comes to the nice ones, we won't copy. When it comes to the bad ones, we say Nigeria is a peculiar country. Let's do it the Nigerian way. So what would you say about this time about President Donald Trump? Does he seem more organized at this period, or are there specific differences between Trump 1.0 and Trump 2.0?
I think you got the word right. He's more organized. There's more of a strategy before he became elected. If you notice during the campaigns was this Project 2025. So that was the Heritage Foundation and other policymakers project that came out to say this is how we would govern from day one. They already had their cabinet picks ready, and once the elections were over, they started to nominate them. Listen, this is going to be RFK for this, Pete Hegseth for defense. So they were ready. National security team is all in place. NSA is in place. Defense, foreign affairs, all in place. So the key difference, if you look at when he got elected the first time, he got into trouble because the FBI paid a courtesy visit on his NSA and told the NSA, listen, we're not investigating you. We just want to ask you a few questions. And the NSA guy answered the questions and got into trouble, had to resign. That was the first NSA that Trump had. So from his first time, he didn't know Washington. He didn't know how Washington works. Now he says he knows Washington. So it's only putting people that he trusts, not people that can do the job. If they don't trust you, you're not coming in. He has even given a list. His former VP, anyone that is not on that list, he's not going to hire you. If you've worked for them in the past, you're not going to be hired by Trump. So they're a bit more, they're more organized. The Treasury guys they know what they want to do from day one. That's why they want to sign almost 100 executive orders to undo what Biden has done and to bring their agenda in there. So it's more like the markets already anticipate what they're going to do. Hence, you are seeing even the hostage release, the oil leases, the investment that have been announced before he's become president, all talk to the fact that he seems to know what he's going to do this time around.
Kalu, let's talk a bit about this tech billionaires that would be at the inauguration later today.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, yeah.
Yes, Elon Musk. Elon Musk seems to be the star of this administration. Of course, he will be leading the Office of Efficiency. That is a new one for the United States, saying that government is not really working well for the Americans, so much bureaucracy, and Elon Musk, with his experience in the private sector, bringing in that guy there, the Jeff Bezoses, the Sam Altman of OpenAI, other tech CEOs. What kind of shift is this indicating, especially for these tech leaders getting explicitly involved, which we've not seen before? What does it really portend for this administration?
Yeah, if you notice the first Trump term, Trump was the president, but you still had a Republican Party that was not Trump's party. So the tech guys could still get policy and rules passed through the Congress, or even just through the FDA or through the FCC, without going through Trump. Now the Republican Party is 100% Trump, which means any policy, any guidelines that you want to get passed in the United States has got to go through a Trump appointee or through a Trump cabinet minister or through Trump himself. So the guys that are in the Magnificent Seven, or the tech guys, all now realize that, listen, Elon Musk realized this very, very early and got in bed with Trump pretty early, donated a lot to his campaign, and is now reaping the benefits of it. So the guys in Washington Post, that's Mr. Jeff Bezos, Meta, Zuckerberg, they all realize that behind the ball, they've got to catch up with Elon Musk and get in touch with Donald Trump, because Trump's a transactional guy. He likes you when you transact with him or when you're loyal to him. So they want to get there very, very quickly and also copy what Musk has done to stay close to Trump so that they get policies also passed their way. Remember, Jeff Bezos is now doing rockets. He's buying rockets, adding a lot of approvals from the federal government. Same thing with Zuckerberg. He was involved in elections in 2020. Now he's come clean and says, hey, the Biden team pressured me. I'm not going to do that again. I'm all neutral. He has unbanned Trump, and they're getting very close to him. So you are seeing not just the tech guys, even the business sector, the automakers, the drug companies, everyone is now on the Trump train. Nobody wants to be out in the cold where you can get hit with a policy that will cost you a lot of money. Also, tax cuts are coming. There's going to be a new tax policy written. So everyone wants to get that document passed with their sector in good standing with Trump. You want to make sure that you don't cause any ripples that would affect your sector. So for now, go kiss the ring, get a good policy in that suits your sector, and then take it from there. That's what everyone is doing.
The question would be the kind of influence that these tech guys would have on the administration, which we've not really seen before. Because we're talking about capitalism here at work. So they started, for lack of a word to use, kissing, in fact, President Trump right from the election results were announced. You saw a lot of them going to Mar-a-Lago, his residence, trying to romance with him. So we're actually a bit hesitant as to the influence of this tech billionaires, actually, because these are people that run the world. Majority of them, all of them will not be in Davos this week from today, of course. If not of this Trump inauguration, you would have seen many of them go to Davos. So what does that tell you in terms of politics and the economy mixing together and the kind of influence these guys will have?
Well, it's always happened. I mean, look at the Democrat side. Bloomberg is a billionaire. He runs Bloomberg. He's the largest Democratic donor they have in the United States. Mr. George Soros, hedge fund guy, one of the largest Democratic donors we have out there. The difference with Trump is flamboyant. He makes a show of it, right? So the same billionaires were with the Democrats. Mark Zuckerberg gave nearly $200 million for Wisconsin back in 2022. No one heard about it. But with Trump and with Elon Musk, they are very flamboyant. They are very open. So you see them, and it looks as if, listen, they are all going towards Trump. But this is how American politics roll. If Trump loses, if the Republicans lose in 4 years, they're all going to go back to the Democrat Party and say, hey, we're with you now and all that. So there's a sea change in America, and it's a unified government. Again, 4 years ago, Biden had a unified government, but that's why he got all that support. When Trump was there the first time, he didn't control all levels of government, so he didn't have total power. Now it's total power. House, Senate, and executive is all under the Republican Party. The Supreme Court, they've got more conservative judges in there, so there's no way for you to hide if you're not with Trump. You don't want to risk and put yourself out there. Remember, you're just a CEO. You answer to shareholders. Your shareholders ask you, why did you not go make peace with Trump? You get into trouble. So there's no time to say you want to resist and not be with the Trump train. So this is how American politics roll, as it is.
Kalu, I'd like to know your views about TikTok's return, because, of course, TikTok was shut for about 12 hours. Came back. You see a lot of Americans lamenting that the loss of revenue for them individually. This same President-elect Trump at a time did say that, okay, there will be sanctions against TikTok. He spoke so negatively against TikTok. You saw him over the weekend taking credit for TikTok's return just a few hours. So what would you really say about that?
I think that's Trump. That's Trump brilliance. I think he reads the room very clearly. Trump was against TikTok, but he saw that the youths in America are for TikTok. And if you look at the American voting demographics, the older Americans vote more than the younger Americans. But in the midterms, the younger guys come out. Trump's going to be on the elections in 2 years' time, midterms. Now he's brought back TikToks. He's shown that he brought it back. So the youth, I saw a graphic just before I joined your show of all the age groups in America. The younger folks now support Trump more in America than the older people because of TikTok. That's it. TikTok, that's how they communicate. They don't care about the politics. They don't care about China. For them, Biden took away TikTok. Trump brought back TikTok. It's cold, cynical politics. What Trump would gain from it because the youths believe that he brought it back and these guys will take it away from them. So he's going to get points from that, bringing back TikTok. There are concerns that TikTok is a Chinese spying, app.
Are those concerns not there anymore? Are those concerns not
They are
there
still
anymore?
they are still there. But
That
I think
China is
Trump has said,
spying on or covertly influencing Americans?
yeah, but Trump has said they've got to still sell it 50% to an American. So he's still towing the line of the security guys. But what he has done brilliantly to say, I will give you 90 days. So I'll give you time to find a US buyer. Invest, sell the algo to the US buyer, or take away the algo and sell TikTok to a US buyer. So in the end, he wins that race. Even if TikTok is no longer reinstated, the youth will believe that he tried, and he gets brownie points for that. It's politics. He has played it beautifully. Biden could have done this. Biden could have given a 90-day pause and done the exact same thing, but he didn't. So Trump has stepped into that vacuum and is going to win those points from saying he brought back TikTok. Yeah.
Let's take a look at Trump's day one promises. And what I've actually put together is a few of those promises. We've heard from his team that he's going to sign over 100 plus executive orders. If we have the graphics, we can really put that now on the screen. He has promised to launch mass deportations, of course, talking about immigration, to end birthright citizenship. And you know that if you're born in the United States, you mustn't be an American. You should be what your parents are, like we see in the UK. He has promised to close the southern border, pardon the J6, that's January 9 defendants, as well as impose steep tariffs. You know that these are executive orders that he has promised, but that does not take away the fact that there are still legislative processes, like the end the birthright citizenship kind of thing. Even though the Senate, the Congress, of course, is largely Republican, he can get his support from there. But these are really, some of these are even enshrined in the Constitution, like the birthright citizenship issue.
Yeah. So they're going to sign a lot, and they've called it, like shock and awe 100 days. They're going to sign a ton of them, and it's going to do mostly with oil drilling, mostly with regulations, taking away regulations, mostly with the LGBT, all that kind of stuff, DEI. Those are easy to do. There are some that they want to sign that the Congress has asked them not to sign because they would use that in the tax bill to reduce the deficit. So, for instance, don't sign that you shouldn't pay this tax or pay that tax. But we're going to put it in the bill, so that allows the bill to be scored cheaper or lower by the CB, or the Congressional Budget Office. But you're going to see a lot of signings. Let's talk specifically about the birthright citizenship. If you read that particular clause in the Constitution, that clause is talking about black slaves. There's a bit of controversy in America. That clause does not put for, if you come to the States and have a baby, then your baby becomes an American. It was put there because when they had slavery, the white folks that owned slaves argued that the children of slaves were not Americans. So they put that constitutional amendment to say, listen, if those kids are born, the children of slaves are born in the United States, they are citizens. It's not really to do with the foreigners that come and have a child. So it's going to go all the way to the Supreme Court. If he signs it, it's going to be challenged. It's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is going to have to rule on that. So most of these things are just teeing it up to get legislative clarity on these issues.
Can he deliver on those promises? Kalu, can he deliver
he's going
on
to
those
sign
promises?
them. He's going to sign them, and most of them are easy. Most of them were signed by Biden's through executive order, so he's going to unsign them by executive orders. The one that gets tacky is the one that has to do with taxes, which is going to be taken care of in the budget resolution that are going to pass, with the budget resolution bills that are going to pass. Now, when you then come to things like birthright citizenship, he will sign it, but it then has to go to the Supreme Court because Democrats and other groups are going to challenge it. So to sign is easy, and when he signs, he has to fulfill this promise. For him, it's going to really be about the regulation, oil and gas, drill baby drill, and all those things that Biden had done, the regulations that had come in. Before Biden left, just signed one last week that says all the coasts in America are off limits for drilling. He also signed one that says you can't drill on federal land. So all those things are a bit last minute coming in. He also signed one that says equal opportunity, that all Americans are equal. These things have meanings. If you read the laws, it has specific meanings that affect how America is run. So even the illegal immigrants, so that's the right word to use. But he has said he's going to extend the temporary protections for undocumented immigrants into America. Things like that are going to go because he's just signing them. It's not going to go through Congress, so it's easy to unsign them with executive order as well.
Okay, let's move over to other promises he has made. He has promised to make U.S. energy costs the lowest in the world. I know that President Trump favors lower oil prices. And, you know, it's so, okay, it's so ironic to say that the United States is even the largest producer of crude oil in the world, you know, where you're also promising. But one would say there's common sense there that if I'm the largest producer, I should be canvassing that my own citizens too should get gasoline at lower prices, because what does it make sense that I'm producing all in my backyard and I cannot afford it? So I can imagine what his business case is there. He's talked about cutting taxes, looking at inflation to be lower, as well as prices, that's the inflation. So how much can he deliver on all of this? The Trump we are seeing right now, 2.0, how fast and furious will he be?
Yeah.
He's reminding me of the Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, Nancy, he's got great advisors. Look at the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. Brilliant guy. He used to work with Soros. He's a brilliant, yeah, he's a very, very brilliant guy. Look at it this way. In America, they've got very, very cheap oil, but you've got state taxes that make oil very expensive. If you go to California and Washington, gas is $4.40 or so, $4 or so, right? If you go to Louisiana, it's $2. So one Trump is saying wants to bring down inflation. You say, listen, we are going to make oil energy, the cost to power your factories, very, very cheap. Either it's going to be oil and gas or through gas. I'm not sure why some Americans view gas as dirty. So they haven't built a new refinery. They don't let you put new gas pipelines. They don't let you put new oil pipelines in America because they're trying to be green. So when Trump takes that away, it allows new investments to happen in gas, in oil and gas pipelines, things like that. So the cost of doing business, the energy costs come down, which then translates to reducing the cost of goods and services, which is now the inflation part of it. So his export thingy is set, you know, if they're going to do more oil and gas exports to Europe, to compensate for the Russian gas, also to the Far East, to compensate even for the Iranian gas and all that. So he's going to meet those promises. The issue is that American gas is coming from shale fields. So can they get output up quick enough in 2 years to meet that demand? He will sign them today, but can output follow signings as quickly as possible? That's going to be what we're going to watch. The key thing for Nigeria is this thing you just mentioned. If the United States starts to export oil and gas, then that's going to affect Nigeria big time because they're going to go after our market. Our market is India. The United States is going to go after Europe. So if Europe then takes their gas, if Russia then takes its gas to India, it affects us. So we have to watch out for, that's the biggest threat for Nigeria, that it's going to expand oil and gas exports and it's going to affect Nigerians' own exports, in addition to the strong dollar, which we'll talk about later on.
Yes, and let's get to that because that was actually my next question around what the impact will be for Nigeria in terms of oil. In this year's budget, it's been predicated, I think, on the production volume at 2.06 million US dollars at $75 US a barrel. Trump is coming in later today. He's spoken so vehemently on oil. Interest rates too, he favors interest rates to go down, which would also favor the United States dollar. That's one. I also like you to take a look at Nigeria being a BRICS partner right now. And President Trump has come up to say vehemently also that he will go against those that don't want to use the dollar as the supreme currency of the world, that he will look at them not as allies, but as enemies. For Nigeria aligning right now with other members of BRICS as a partner, though, what do you think? Will President Tinubu's assumptions for this year be threatened also by the volatility or the uncertainty, let me put it that way, uncertainty around Trump?
Yeah, let's start with the dollar, right? So Trump has not hidden the desire to have a strong dollar. He believes strong dollar would sort of reverse the deficit in America. You know, they import too much from China because China weakens the yuan artificially to export to America. His Treasury Secretary also supports this idea of dollar has to be number one. It's got to be strong because they want to bring back jobs to America. That's the trick people are not seeing. When America says we're going to place a tariff on you, you can't escape because if you place a tariff on America, they simply bring the manufacturing back to America and they win. If you crumble, then you can buy more from them. So it's a win-win for America in terms of tariffs. So that makes the dollar go up. If the dollar is up, it hurts the naira. Because then why would I do naira when I can do dollar and get 2% dollar rate? Why would I do naira and get 18%? So it's a problem for not just Nigeria, for emerging markets if you have a stronger dollar. Because then so that's for the dollar. Let's see how that pans out. The Fed guy is still going to be there. Jerome Powell is still going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Let's see how that would go. Let's come to BRICS. You know, I think I did a tweet about BRICS. You know, I don't know the Brazilian president announced BRICS, that Nigeria was joining BRICS before the Nigerian government announced it. I think the timing, in my view, was a bit off. The timing, in my view, was a bit off. Maybe we should have waited. We could have joined before, but to join we're joining the week that Trump has said is going to impose a 100% tariff on countries in BRICS that want to remove or start to use non-dollar means to transact. Russia has said they want BRICS to be a counterparty to the US. So they want to use BRICS to fight the US. Iran has said they want to use BRICS to fight the US. Russia and Iran have signed an agreement that they want to now trade without the dollar. So Nigeria is now popping up its head at this time when the coast is clear. So Trump is looking for who to hit. And then Nigeria comes up and says, we want to join BRICS as a partner. So the timing is a bit off. Nothing wrong with joining BRICS, but the timing. Maybe we should have watched and see what he's going to do, because we can't afford a 100% tariff from the US. We can't afford to have
Should they now
bad
wait till
relationship.
the 4 years of Trump is over?
No, watch and see what he's going to do. If he's serious about it, then don't do it. If he's not serious, Ethiopia is there already. Ethiopia does a lot of trade with the US, right? So they're already there. Egypt wants to be there. They do a lot of trade with the US. Indonesia are there. They respect Trump a lot. So Saudi Arabia is there. But, you know, so Argentina was there. They've left. So watch the waters first. You know, watch and see where he's going to go to with the policy. Then you join. But to come up the week where he's going to be the president, where he has said he's going to tariff you 100%, to then say you're going to join BRICS, it just looks like bad timing. Nothing wrong with joining, but get your timing right. Let's see what's going to happen first. Get your lobbyists to talk to the American new guys and see how serious they are about this. If they're very serious, why join? Why?
Okay.
You know, that's just the point.
Okay. Can we just, Kalu, just hold on. Let's take a listen to what President Trump is saying. Let's take that video again and let's listen in. That was yesterday. That was on Sunday in Washington, D.C. President Trump was at a victory rally, what he termed the victory rally, of course, speaking to his supporters. Can we quickly take that video and see what President Trump is saying? Of course, he spoke a lot about inflation, spoke a lot about the tariffs, which he says is his favorite word, taxes, and some other things that he needs to do. Do we have it, guys, so that we can just take that quick video?
Trump. I'm thrilled to be back with so many friends, supporters, and true American patriots on the eve of taking back our country. That's what we're going to do, take back our country. Tomorrow at noon, the curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline administration. We're not going to take it anymore. We're going to stop the invasion of our borders. We're going to reclaim our wealth. We're going to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, liquid gold. We're going to bring back law and order to our cities. We're going to restore patriotism to our schools, get radical left, woke ideologies the hell out of our military and out of our government. And we are going to make America great.
All right, President-elect Donald Trump there. He would be taking the oath of office in a few hours from now. Kalu, we're going to take back Take back. Of course, his logo,
Take back.
make America great again.
MAGA.
Yes, MAGA. Not the kind of MAGA we know in Nigeria. MAGA don't pay. There
Yeah.
used to be a song those days. MAGA don't pay. Nobody that kind of MAGA. This MAGA now
Yeah, no,
is
it's
make
Trump MAGA.
America great again. Take it back. Take it back. Where does it leave the balance? Because you're seeing a balance here, or perhaps there should be a rebalancing between politics and economy. Talking about U.S. Politics and economy, where does it even leave the Democrats now? How do you think that they need,
Wow.
you know, to come up again? Because this next 4 years will be a year of reassessment. That's one. The second question is around what can Nigeria learn from all of this? President Tinubu, this is the second year, if I'm not mistaken. What can we learn from what's going on
Yeah.
in the United States, as it were? Because even Americans are saying we're taking it back. Can Nigerians actually say that perhaps in 2027 now that we're tired of the economic situation? How can we as Nigerians take back our country in terms of the economic indices being better?
Yeah. I mean, look, let's take your first question, where the Democrats are. Look at how they ran the confirmation hearings. You have a guy comes in front of you, he's to run the Treasury Department. You're asking him questions about Trump. Defense guy comes, question about Trump. Trade guy comes, question about Trump. They haven't gotten off Trump. They are still stuck on Trump. Trump has won. And what you are in the opposition now. Your job is to oppose, right? To bring out new policies. But all their questions, Trump, 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 Trump. They're not asking the guys about what you would do, how you would fight inflation, how you secure the border. It's all Trump, Trump, Trump. So Democrats are still in denial, right? They haven't yet accepted that Trump has won. And that's a big problem for them. When you win all 7 swing states, you raise your vote counts in blue cities. Trump won more votes in California, New York. These are deep blue cities. Then you have to ask yourself a question, introspection. What did we do wrong? It's not your messaging. What did you do wrong? And then you fix that. But for now, it looks like they haven't yet learned what happened, and maybe they'll learn it pretty soon. Let's go to what Nigerians can learn from Trump. 20 years from today, people are going to go back and look at MAGA, and they're going to say it was a masterful display of political salesmanship. The logo, the name, something easy for people to remember. MAGA, make America great again. And he broke it down. Oh, we're going to secure the borders. We're going to make you richer. Well, you know, for anyone, if you ask a poor person what's MAGA, he will tell you. If you ask a rich person what's MAGA, he will tell you. Rich people will say MAGA means tax cuts. Poor people, MAGA means I get a job. So that intonation of that branding to say when you talk to a voter in Nigeria, he can tell you with specificity that this political party is going to do this for me. We don't have it yet in Nigeria. If you ask a PDP guy or an APC guy, a Labour guy, what will my party do for me? They can't tell you. They can tell you that Tinubu or Peter Obi will do this, but they can't tell you what their party will do for them. And that's one thing we can learn, that ideologies can outlast our parties, you know. Trump is not really a Republican. They will call him a rhino, but he has gone to the Republican Party, and he has fitted in there low taxes, international growth, and all that kind of stuff. So we have to learn ideologies, first of all, before we go to personalities. He's a big personality, Mr. Trump, but he has still had to come into the Republican Party ideology and operate within the ideology of the Republican Party. So that's one thing we have to learn. This third-party candidate that we have, Obama went to the Democrat Party, Trump went to the Republican Party. So you have to go to a party if you want to win elections. Okay. Third-party, mushroom parties cannot win elections in Nigeria. I'm sorry, no matter how good and I'm just saying, if you want to win an election, you can't go to a small party. A coalition can help, but you can't go to a small. Look, Trump has brought Democrats into his party. He won with RFK. RFK's brother was the president. RFK's father was Attorney General.
Okay.
He brought them into his cabinet. So you have to have a coalition to win.
Okay. Okay, it's just that there's, we have to go now, but in just a few seconds, is there anything that Nigeria will benefit from Trump's presidency? And I would like you to comment on the World Economic Forum ongoing right now in Davos. Is it losing its mojo? Many leaders will not be there this week, you know.
Yeah. Trump is going to talk online to the WF going forum, but I don't think he likes them.
No,
I don't think he likes them. Doesn't like them. Doesn't like
Though
you.
he
He doesn't
went,
like
I
those
think,
kind of
when
things.
he was there the first time.
He goes to put it in their face, but doesn't really like them. So that's on one side. Number two, what we can get, there's reciprocity. Trump has said, if you don't tax us, we don't tax you. So it's a good chance for Nigeria to get into his good books. There's also an African Growth and Opportunities Act that is still
For a
out
Trump
there.
that didn't visit
Nigeria
Africa,
can push them.
Carlo, for
He
a
doesn't have
Trump
to visit
that
Africa.
he didn't visit
He
Africa.
doesn't have to visit.
Anyway,
Yeah,
but
because we look at all those,
yes.
those things that Obama visited.
Yes.
What did he bring?
What did he bring?
I mean, Clinton visited. What did he bring?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Carlo, I think we'll leave it at that now. Hopefully, of course, the whole world will be awaiting President Trump's inauguration in a few hours and his speech. I don't even know if I'm going to look forward to any new thing in his speech because he's been saying that in the last how many years, so we know what will be in the speech.
Yeah,
know, so
I would tell you, just watch out for the first 1 week. Watch out for what the Treasury guy does, the Treasury person and the Holman guy. That's what you should just watch out for. Yeah, that's where you're going to see the policy start from. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Carlo, for joining us on today's edition of the program. I've been speaking with Kalu Aja, a financial analyst, and we've been talking about Trump's inauguration. Don't forget that our special programming will come up at 5 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, where we'll be giving full coverage of President Trump's second inauguration. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Be the best you can be the change you want to see. I am Nancy Naji, signing out. Thank you for watching. In case this is your first time watching us, thank you. Don't subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments as well as like, and most of all, share our content.